Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of Great Ethnic Chefs of St. George. This is Kim, and I'm Judy.
And we've been married for 53 years. And people ask us all the time, what is the secret of our longevity? And I can tell you the answer is great food. Today, we have a very famous chef from St. George. Her name is Angelica, and she and her husband, Jack, who's her partner, co-partner, own a restaurant here in town that's very well known and very well reviewed. And it's called Angelica's, surprisingly. And they're going to be here today, and Angelica is going to show us how to make
Cochinita pibil,
which is a ancient Mayan dish. And I'm going to let her tell you more about it when she is on camera. Meanwhile, I just want to tell you a little bit about Angelica's background because it shows a remarkable amount of determination. Other things too, but definitely determination. She came to the United States, well, she was born in 1974 in Mexico City and was raised mostly by her grandmother because her mother was a traditional mother, but also a working mother. And she learned to cook from her grandmother, although her grandmother didn't teach her. Her grandmother gave her jobs to do throughout the kitchen that didn't involve really cooking.
Yeah, like washing the dishes and setting the table.
But Angelica learned at an early age to watch what other people do. And so she watched her grandmother for years and learned how to cook that way. Her grandmother, of course, like most grandmas that we have, never used a measuring spoon or rarely used a measuring spoon, but was able to determine how to make something just from trial and error.
By taste.
Yeah, by
and
taste.
We will be right back after this to meet Angelica, our chef.
When the rush of life transforms into the rush of elation, the land of exhilaration is calling. Rise to it.
We're back now with Angelica and her husband Jack, who own Angelica's restaurant.
So, Angelica, before we start cooking, how about you fill in some of the blanks about your background here that I did not complete? Why don't you tell us how you started, when you got here, how you started working and how this all came about?
Okay, I came here to America. Hello, everybody. So I came here to America in like 2003, 2004. And I started working, well, we started studying first English at BYU. And then I started working as a dishwasher in the kitchen. Because believe it or not, I didn't know how to cook by then. So all I did was dishes. So then I became a salad prep and bread, making bread. And then after, I will say 6, 7 years, I became, well, less than that. I became a server. Well, I would clean tables first and then server, so I can make more money, and the hours were not as hard as they were as a dishwasher or working in the kitchen. Plus, I will make more money as a waitress. So then from there, I started working at Cheesecake Factory. I don't know if you have ever been there. It's a book, that's the menu right there, 200 items. So it wasn't easy. It took me like 5 tries for them to hire me. So I wanted to be a waitress because they make good money there. But the 5th time I went over there, I was like, just give me the job as a dishwasher and I make myself way to waitress. And they're like, you're hired, you're waitress. And I'm like, finally. So I started working as a waitress. I didn't quite learn the menu at first, so I was food runner. So I'll be like running food, and then I will learn the dishes and what is in each dish, because as a waitress, we have secret shoppers and they will ask you questions. So you have to learn what is in each plate, what is in each cheesecake, what is in each drink, alcohol, non-alcohol. So more than 200 items that we have to memorize. So we're ready to answer any question. So now the secret about Cheesecake Factory is that they sell cheesecakes, that's the main thing, but they have a huge menu, right? So after people eat their meal, they're like, are you ready for cheesecake? Of course not. So now we had to sell cheesecakes. That was the main thing, right? That was our goal. So we will talk about cheesecakes. Believe it or not, I hate chocolate. I don't like chocolate. And I'd be like, oh, the chocolate cheesecake, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You have to try it. Just lies. So that's one of the.
And you were there for
things.
5 years, right?
I was there about to get my 5-year pin cheesecake, but then I met this man and he took me away from my 5-year pin.
So then, and we know that.
But you got a wedding band instead. So.
I did get a, yes.
That's true. So you opened, I'm going to skip ahead a bit, and you opened Angelica's after having 2 smaller restaurants here in St. George, right?
Yeah.
We know that. And the thing that unifies these restaurants, besides fabulous food, are lines out the door. Even today, while you seat, what, 60? You have 60 seats? Is that correct?
I think that's inside. I think we've got another 40 outside. On the
Wow.
Wow.
And seat
Yeah.
100,
Yeah.
100 folks. And I was there the other day, and there was a line out the door lunchtime. So, and
Pretty popular.
very popular here in town.
And don't be deceived by the full parking lot. It's a small parking lot for the size of restaurant that it is because of where we're at. But we do staff very well. We know when we're going to be busy, and we get the line through fast.
Great.
So
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you're going to cook today.
Okay, so
And
we're
teach
going
our
to
folks.
cook Cochinita pibil. This is a very authentic Mexican dish from the south of my country. The beauty about Mexico City is that we get recipes from all over Mexico. So we have food from the south, from the north, from the center, from everywhere.
What's the
So-
general difference between food from the south and food from the
question.
north?
The ingredients, on the south, it's mainly like Cochinita pibil. They have different fruits or vegetables or whatever they grow.
Uh-huh.
And then the north has different vegetation,
Yeah.
and they
Grow
They
They
different.
grow
use what's
different
local.
things.
They use local, fresh ingredients.
exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And now the Cochinita pibil is a very Mayan. It's a Mayan dish made with seeds, and it has different spices, and they made a paste, and it's been served by thousands of years since So
Thousands of years.
What's the paste made of?
seeds, peppers,
seeds,
and everything. So, yeah, and there's different brands of. This paste is called achiote.
Achiote.
Achiote. The dish, when it's done, it's called Cochinita pibil, but the ingredient here is achiote.
You can tell I took Spanish, right?
Yeah,
Good
And-
pronunciation for achiote.
you can smells
Wow.
delicious, right?
Powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish you could all smell it.
Yeah, so you will find this in the Mexican market, by the way.
I wanted to ask you that, all the ingredients that you're going to use today, can we find all of those here in St. George?
Absolutely, yeah, I got this. This is from Mexico. I bought it in Mexico, but we find this brand here in the Mexican market.
I see, it's the same thing but a different
It's
brand.
the same thing, but different brand.
Perfect.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
which brand are
So-
we eating today?
We're eating Yucateco, which is in
Okay.
Mérida, Yucatan. So it's called Yucateco.
So how do we start?
Okay, we're ready?
With the
to cook?
gloves. We start with gloves.
We start with gloves. Wash your hands and put some gloves on.
I'm like a
Okay.
surgeon.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
so
ready to operate.
first of all, we're gonna make Mexican rice. So we're gonna have like,
Is this the rice that we serve in the restaurant, honey?
yes, absolutely.
And what makes it Mexican?
You'll see.
The ingredients we use, we cannot say commercials, right? We cannot say brands. We,
So
we
you can
use
buy any
tomato
white
sauce,
rice, and we're going to turn it into Mexican rice.
tomato
right?
sauce, salt, chicken. How do you call this?
Bouillon?
Chicken bouillon.
Yes, that. Thank you. Oil.
Here's the oil.
Perfect. Thank you.
How much oil are you putting in, honey?
That is a good question. Remember one thing, my grandmother never shared how much to put on each thing, so I just go by looking. So probably we say like 1/4 of a cup.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Yeah,
And this, by the way, is canola oil.
yeah.
How many of you cook without measuring as a general rule?
See, there you are. I'm not the only one.
In our house, I'm the non-measurer. Judy is
Well,
the
when I'm
very
following
precise.
a new recipe, I measure, but if I'm making things I know,
Right, of
So-
course, we're talking about.
I don't measure for scrambled eggs.
Good.
Okay, on the other hand, while the oil is getting hot, we're gonna put water, 1 cup of water to boil, and we're gonna add 5 guajillo peppers. You find this in the Mexican market as well.
And are these extremely spicy?
Not spicy,
No.
no,
That's the kind I like.
yes. We have hundreds of different peppers in Mexico.
By the way, in the restaurant, can people order very spicy for each dish, pretty much, or how does that work?
Well, we have 3 different meats. We've got 3 different types of pork, but one of them is very spicy pork. We call it the chile verde. It's on the menus that we handed out. The other 2 porks are not spicy. We have a sweet pork and a regular carnitas. And then we have 2 beefs, carne asada and a machaca. They are not spicy. And then we do a chicken thigh meat that we cook. So your spiciness would come from the salsa bar, where we've got a mild salsa, we've got a green medium salsa, a red medium salsa, a red hot salsa, and a habanero onion salsa that's just like this one right here that you can get at the restaurant, if you want to do that on the camera. But we'll see, you'll have a chance to taste that later.
And then crawl out of the studio.
So the rice goes in the oil.
The rice
That's
goes into
different
the
already.
oil, yes. I know everybody wants to learn how to cook rice, right? We can never get it right. So we're gonna fry the rice.
It's getting all luminous from the oil.
Yes, and you're gonna cook it to get it crispy gold, okay?
So this is not going to be soft rice. It's going to be
Well,
crunchy.
It's gonna be,
By the time it's
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I
that's,
have to wait.
yeah. So for the flavor, the crispy gold, that's how you want your rice.
And I see you using jasmine rice. Is that your preferred rice?
That's a good, yeah.
Yep.
It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
that's a good
Yeah, us
brand.
too. That's what
Yeah,
we
the rice
typically
comes
use.
out just perfect. So we have the peppers cooking, and then the rice.
If you want to get a close-up, that's the peppers that we were using.
It's called guajillo pepper.
The thing it is, when you go to the Mexican market and you start looking around at all these brands and ingredients of things that you're not used to buying, take a chance. You know, experiment. Ask people. We'll go up online to look at the various ingredients and how they're used. because part of the adventure of discovering a new dish is to take chances and make mistakes.
Yeah, I have a habit of always making something I've never made before for company.
For company.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I say to myself, why do I do this?
Now this is the rice, when you go to our restaurant, this is the rice that you'll get at our restaurant.
Don't share this recipe, okay?
Did the peppers still in the water?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in here boiling.
They're boiling right here.
Yeah.
Be careful.
You want to soften them, right?
Yes, we want the peppers soft. Okay, almost there.
It's getting golden.
It's getting golden.
Oh, I see.
See the color?
Yeah.
And then you can add a pinch of salt. I would say like half
Teaspoon?
teaspoon.
The great thing about this rice is it pairs well with anything. Anything you eat, you can if you make too much, you can put it in the refrigerator and reheat it. It does well in the microwave on a reheat, and you can add, anything you like to it. A lot of times we have leftover rice. We'll add sour cream and some salsa and just eat it with that, and it's really
Yeah.
good.
The chicken soup, just put it in the
Chicken
chicken
soup.
soup.
Well, I'll tell you, we take our leftover rice and we mix it with refried beans.
And
Oh,
eggs.
that works too.
And sometimes
And
eggs.
Absolutely.
It's
And
very,
vegetables, whatever leftover vegetables you
yeah,
have
and it's
chopped
very
up.
healthy. You know, beans are very healthy. Yeah, exactly. So, and it's very delicious.
See the color of the rice? It's getting golden.
But we've
Angelica?
never done that before. That's
At our
that's
restaurant,
interesting.
we don't offer refried beans. We offer whole pinto beans.
Exact.
What part of Mexico is that? From?
Refried beans, it's more for this border, I guess, for tourist people.
Oh.
One more fun fact about Mexican food. We don't do chips in Mexico. That's no Mexican thing. That's more American.
Tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips. We don't
Really?
do chips. Yep. That's why in my restaurant, we don't do chips because we want to keep it authentic.
That's like in China, they've never heard of a fortune cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Besides, when you walk into my restaurant, I want you to try my food, not my chips, if I did have chips.
Yeah, but people fill up on that stuff. and they
Exactly.
don't
How many
appreciate-
times do you go to a Mexican restaurant and you don't finish your food? Take
Yeah.
it home. How many times do you reheat it and eat it? Never. Maybe.
Yeah.
So that way you have your money worth what you spend on the food.
So one of the things that makes us different at our restaurant is that we're not a traditional, like you would expect, Mexican restaurant. We don't have refried beans. We don't have lettuce. We don't have yellow cheese. We don't do chips, although we have 5 different salsas.
Now you're gonna add the chicken.
So now she's adding the chicken
Chicken bouillon.
bouillon.
About how much would you say that was?
About
2-ounce
2
cup.
ounces.
2 ounces.
We don't do enchiladas. I mean, we have a very simple menu.
It's more like
So
a street taco
So it's
plate.
street tacos, quesadillas, burritos, all in that menu I handed out to you. And those 3 different basic kinds of meat, chicken, beef, and pork. And that's it,
the
or
color?
vegetarian.
Yes, it's changed color. It's
No
definitely a
refried
golden,
beans,
almost
whole pinto
getting
beans,
brown.
and then this simple rice dish,
Yeah.
for example.
Okay. So now we're gonna
That's
add.
tomato paste.
that at,
No, that's tomato
Cayenne
sauce,
hardware.
sorry.
Oh, I bought this in Hearst Hardware.
Is this deliberate? We're using 2 different brands, honey?
No, I run out of the other brand.
Okay. So it's just 2 of these tomato sauce cans.
And those are how many ounces each? 4?
Can't read that. 8 ounce.
8 ounces.
So 16 ounces in this 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce.
Where's the water?
Can I mix it a little for you while you're doing that?
Good job.
Thank you.
That is beginning to look now like Mexican.
Mexican,
rice. Yep.
Yeah.
So there's 2 cups right here. Thank you, baby.
All right, so 4 of these.
So for this amount, 8 cups of water.
Yep, 8 cups.
We're gonna let this on the stove and it has to boil, okay? Now we're going to make the cochinita pibil.
Now, we're done with the rice. It's just
We're
got to
done
cook,
with the
right?
rice. Now it's going to cook.
So that's all the ingredients. Now we're just gonna, she's gonna bring it to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, she's gonna turn back down the heat and put a lid on it, let it hydrate.
So next, you're going to put the peppers in there?
Next, we're gonna pour the peppers with the water.
And it goes
One of the
into
reasons
blender.
she's doing that is so that the boiling water doesn't crack your blender. So that's one thing to be aware of when you're transferring something very hot like that into, you know, this is plastic, but even glass, you don't want to break
Really,
it.
even glass?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we're gonna add the white vinegar, chicken, how do you say?
Bouillon?
Thank you. 5. Yes.
Salt?
Salt. Do
It's
we
about
say
a teaspoon?
About a half a
teaspoon?
teaspoon or
Half
yeah, it's a
teaspoon.
teaspoon. Yeah. Maybe a half ounce.
You can always taste it later and see if it needs
Yeah,
more.
salt's
So
an
that's
easy
the
one
point.
to put a little less in and then
And
taste
then-
it and adjust it as you like.
We're
Oregano.
gonna turn that down, honey.
This is the star of the dish, the achiote.
How much was that?
3 ounces of achiote.
3 ounces of this, right?
Yes,
So 3 ounces of this paste.
yes.
Where we
So
at?
we move the rice, we turn it down.
You want it to be simmering, huh?
Yes, and then thank you for that word.
My pleasure.
Okay, so now the rice is cooking. We're gonna blend all the ingredients here.
When a crisis hits, close to home and across the globe, nonprofits are on the front lines, ready to serve. Healing, nurturing, rescuing, protecting, inspiring. The work of philanthropic organizations has never been more important, and it's donors and volunteers like you who make all this possible. Thank you. The Nonprofit Alliance.
Welcome back, everybody. Now we're getting to put the nitty-gritty together, and we're going to see what's next.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna add or mix right here on the pot.
So what time do you folks get up every morning to operate your restaurant?
We have people that are
good to have
there
people.
at 8:30.
At 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got prep cooks, we have cooks, and we have
We're gonna
managers
add
that open our restaurant for us every time.
So you get to
Every day.
sleep in now.
Well, we do other things.
2 limes are going in.
Okay, so we're gonna add 2 limes here, old-fashioned.
She's putting them in the squeezer face down.
Well, is it supposed to be face up?
No.
No, I'm just
Oh.
saying the way you're doing it.
Okay.
Either way, it works.
And then we're gonna add some orange juice. But the orange is to mellow the acid, but not too much.
And
Okay.
now,
Oh,
chicken.
the leaves.
How many bay leaves was that?
5.
And this is chicken breast, sliced chicken breast.
Now, originally, this dish is made with pork, okay? For healthier, skinnier reasons, we're going to do it with chicken.
I explained to Angelica that we're a live well, live long organization, so she
Okay.
modified it for that.
It's very important after you handle chicken, change your gloves or wash your hands. Chicken, it's very
Toxic.
toxic. Yes, where's my gloves?
What does the vinegar do?
Vinegar, it's kind of like a secret ingredient to give some tart flavor. Yes. So now this is going to be boiling. Okay, now this is going to be for about 40 minutes. Chicken cooks kind of fast, so we're going to wait like 40 minutes. Now there is another secret ingredient right here, okay? So in Mexico, as you know, we eat a lot of spicy. And in the south of Mexico, where this dish is from, they eat a lot of habanero. Have you tried habanero pepper before? Very. I will say it hurts on your way in and it hurts on your way out. So that's my joke. So this is made with habanero pepper. 2 is enough. It's very spicy with 2. Okay, so you want to roast the habanero first. And then on a blender, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vinegar, about 1 ounce of salt, 2 limes, and a cup of water. You're going to blend that. Okay, so you're going to cut your onion, purple onion. It has to be purple onion.
What Angelica is talking about is a mild version. She made a mild version for us gringos. But,
Yes.
so it doesn't have just the peppers, it has
Yeah,
great onion.
I made this one mild. There has no habaneros at all, okay? But for those braves,
And I can
I
smell
have
it
the
from here.
habanero. You'll have to remember me at night. That's how spicy you want it.
I don't like spicy food, and my sons both love spicy food. Even my granddaughter likes spicy food. I don't know where they got it from because they didn't grow up with it, but they really like spicy food. Me either.
Wow, that rice.
Cooking up nicely.
Yes.
It's absorbing all the
That
liquid.
looks good and it smells great.
Yeah, you're gonna move a little bit. Almost
So
there.
mix it up a little bit, and then let it continue to absorb the water, the sauce actually.
Okay.
Okay,
I
we will
think-
be right back to taste and plate what we've just made. We are back, and we have 2 of our audience to help us taste. This is Carol and Nita. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for inviting us. This looks wonderful. It smells great.
Doesn't it smell wonderful? Well, while we were off camera, we warmed up, or I shouldn't say we, Angelica.
we.
Okay, we warmed up some tortillas.
You
for
know,
the-
I wanted to ask you a question about this because we warm up ours at home, and I never know really when they're quite ready and whether to put some oil in the pan before we put them in there. So why don't you help with that?
Okay, I didn't put oil. And the tortillas are ready when they're a little tiny golden.
I see.
Because if you don't put the tortillas long enough, they will break very easily.
Oh,
And they won't taste as good. So,
okay.
But you can't do it too long because then they get stiff, which I've had that
Oh,
expression,
yeah.
then they break.
yeah, but then kind of like this color, and then you know it's good to eat.
Good to know.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start
is
plating.
Everybody ready? Okay.
Yeah, we're excited.
So we're gonna grab our tortilla here, and then
Wow, that looks
I love
great.
the color. Oh, look at all the chicken.
that's really good right here.
You're gonna add some rice?
We can add some rice.
Voila. Oh, look looks.
We should make this show a smell-orama show like the old movies.
If only there was. That's your thing. Great.
That is beautiful.
Okay, who wants to be first?
Let
Oh,
that
there's
cool
more.
off.
Oh, do you want the spicy or the
I want
mild?
the mild. I'll try one tiny little corner of the habanero.
Wow, you're brave.
I'm chicken.
More than I would
Well,
try.
I have to know right where it is, though.
Okay.
Okay, watch.
Oh, it's just the sauce you're gonna give me. Okay.
That's just a little bit.
Then you know how spicy it must really be
Let's-
if that's all she gave you.
Now wait a little bit. It's very
Yes, it
hot.
looks very
Yeah,
hot.
we need to let it cool a little bit.
Two kinds of hot going there.
Hot.
You know
hot,
what?
right.
While it's cooling,
And
let's
here's
just put it up here so the folks at home can see how beautiful this
you're-
plate
oops.
is.
Okay.
Am I in
So
the way?
I think we need to put it right here.
Let me do the tortillas.
Yeah, I'm surprised they aren't burning faster than that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and here's a fork, and just let it cool off
And
because
there's.
it's super
I'm
hot.
gonna go for the hot one.
Wow. Oh, that's my girl right
My
there.
full name is Anita, and I have hot sauce in my purse. so-
Perfect.
You're kidding.
Oh, just like me, I have my hot spicy in my purse.
There you go.
Beautiful.
True story. Whenever we go to a restaurant like Black Bear or Denny's or somewhere when we're out, she pulls out the hot sauce and the peppers from her purse. Yeah.
It's legit.
My son
Yeah.
throws all the hot peppers, you know.
Dig in.
The big moment, the big reveal.
The rice is fabulous.
Oh, my goodness.
Usually I don't
Oh.
like this kind of Spanish.
That is-
Whoa, the
That
flavors
truly is
magnificent.
perfectly. Really good.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Let's plate some more and
And spread it
folks-
around.